Excerpt from Beyond Death's Door by MAURICE RAWLINGS. A dying person simply faints or painlessly loses consciousness as death occurs, and yet he is still able to hear himself pronounced dead by his doctor. He then discovers that he is out of his own body, but still in the same room, looking on as a bystander and observing the procedures. He watches himself being resuscitated and frequently is compelled to walk around other people who might be obstructing his view. Or he may look down upon the scene from a floating position near the ceiling in which he sometimes finds himself. Often he is standing or floating behind the door or the nurse, looking down on the back of their heads as they work to revive his body. He notices who is in the room and knows what they are saying. He has difficulty believing that he is dead, that his lifeless body used to be his. He feels fine. The body has been vacated as if it were a strange object. After he becomes more accustomed to this odd condition, he notices that he has a new body, which seems real and endowed with superior senses. He is not a ghost. He can see and feel and think and talk just as before. But now, fringe benefits have been added. He notices his body has infinite capabilities of transportation and thought reading, and is capable of doing almost anything. He may then hear a peculiar noise, after which he finds himself moving through a long, dark passage with walls. His speed may be fast or slow, but he doesn't touch the walls and is not afraid of falling. As he emerges from the tunnel, he may see a brilliantly lighted environment of exquisite beauty where he meets and talks with friends and relatives who have previously died. He may then be interviewed by a being of light or a being of darkness. This environment may be inexpressibly beautiful, frequently a rolling meadow or a beautiful city, or it may be inexpressibly horrible, frequently a dungeon or a huge cave. His whole life may be played back as an instant review of all the major events of his life, as if anticipating a judgment. As he walks along with his friends or relatives, frequently his parents in a good experience, a barrier is usually encountered beyond which he cannot go and still return. He usually is turned back at this point and suddenly finds himself back in his body, where he may feel the shock of an applied electric current or chest pains from someone pushing upon his chest. These experiences usually affect a person's life and attitudes profoundly. If the experience is pleasant, one is not afraid to die again. A person might look forward to renewing his experience where he left off, especially since he has discovered that death itself is painless and presents no fear. If he tries to tell his friends about this experience, he may receive ridicule or quips. Finding the words to describe these unearthly episodes is difficult enough, but if ridiculed, he may keep the episode a secret and say no more. If it is unpleasant, an experience of damning incrimination, he may prefer to leave the story untold.